Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and I am back in 2021 for a little bit more Twine endurance, as there's going to be some changes that happened. After a few weeks of testing and some changes to my builds, I've got a pretty decent base, but of course, it's always going to be testing, right? So, ongoing testing is always going to be a thing for my builds. So, the Homebase North over here, I'm going to talk a little bit about the changes that has happened. So in about February, there's been a change with crowd control builds, or crowd control in general with the husks, right? So whether it be the dancing from the sand walls, whether it be the knockback from your launchers, or whether it be the knockback from the wall launchers, or whether it be stuns from other sorts, right? So there's going to be a limit of crowd control 5 times, right? So the husks can be limited to 5 crowd controls before they're completely immune to them. So it could be a freeze, or it could be the tar pit, launchers, staggers, anything of those sorts. The only thing that has not affected from that, which they can still be crowd controlled, is wooden floor spikes. So the husks can still be slowed indefinitely. But every other crowd control that I know of right now, they are limited to only 5. So with those in mind, we had to do some adjustments in the builds, and I can show you some of my adjustments I've done, and you can adapt to whatever ones that you wish to do. So, and over here I have placed wall dynamos. You don't have to do this at all. You can use the exact same wall launchers that I've been using previously, right? So using wall launchers, you should be perfectly fine. As for the assassin husks, this will change their pathing once you launch them, so this should be okay. Instead of the I was using ceiling tire traps, so these tire traps have now been replaced with ceiling electric fields, and these ceiling electric fields are going to have nature, right? So they're going to be nature damage, and I think these ones have durability, something like that. So nature, they're going to be double crit damage, single damage, and 1 crit rating. So these are the ceiling electric fields I'll be using. And they're 2 tiles high, but you can use whatever ones you want, to be honest. You can put them 1 tile high if you wish. I think it should still be okay. Alright. And if you do 1 tile high, I think the AoE is going to be slightly bigger. Alright, but you know, you do you. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'll just maybe I'll just replace it right now, because I don't think there's any purpose in leaving it 2 tiles high. I'll just do that. Alright, so I'll just upgrade those later. Okay, so another thing to keep note is for if you're doing damage builds, make sure you still have the sand walls. So if you noticed, I'm going to be using 69ers. So I'm going to be using this term 69er to refer to these sand walls or wooden floor spikes that may have parallel 69. And parallel 69 is going to be important because they're only going to be level 25, which is the minimum level to unlock the 6th perk. And this 6th perk I'm going to be using is healing. Alright, so many of these builds I'm going to be using healing traps. Alright, so that's going to be really important. So whether it be the floor or the wall, but I think the floor is going to be the most important, because if a propane blows up, it's most likely going to be the floor that's going to be taking the most damage, because it'll blow up right on the spot. Alright, and another thing to note as well is there's a little bit less wall launchers over here. And that is mainly for the sound walls, the 1 launcher here, the freeze trap, and the tar pit at the very end. But you can use whatever setup you want, to be honest. I don't think it's that much of a big deal. And I think it could be possible I may need to put a thing here, but maybe I may not need to. Let me check. Yeah, I don't think I need to. But you can do testing to make sure, because I just changed it right now. I didn't actually test this, but anyway. So yeah, that's pretty much that build over there. And take advantage of the holes. And then just remember, the holes are not 100% reliable. They're only like 70%, or maybe even 60%. But I wrote 70%, but I think they might be even a little bit less. But anyway. Going into the home base, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be redoing my home base east, because in my previous recording I wasn't fully satisfied with the build, so I went ahead and did some stuff, and I got a build with more damage. I just felt like the previous build was lacking damage, and this one should have a decent amount now. So, seeing electric fields, I'm going to be using is the double. It's going to be the double crit damage, crit rating and damage with nature. Alright, 2 wooden floor specs over here with healing. We got the sound walls as well. Sound walls are going to be healing with the double reloads. Okay, healing and double reloads, and these are going to be the 69ers that I mentioned in the home base north. And as well, we're going to have the dynamos. The dynamos are going to be a low wall, and they're going to be nature as well. Double crit damage, crit rating, and damage. And these wall darts are both going to have healing, and they're going to be double crits. And the ceiling gas trap and double crit. Now, as well, I'm going to also mention that as you come up here, there's going to be a steel electric field with 2 dynamos over here, and these ones, one of them is going to have reload, and the other one is going to have no reload. Both nature, of course. All the traps in here are going to be nature. And same thing over here with the steel electric field, and more steel electric fields over here. And then finally, we're met by the wall launcher, which also has a wall dart. So the wall dart will activate, and the wall launcher will activate, and then boom. And then they'll have to walk all the way back up. So that's pretty much the idea of this whole base east. So it's going to be more damage than what I showed in my previous recording. So this one's a bit more satisfactory for me. And at the very end of it, I'm going to have the tar pit. And the tar pit is, I think, a really nice addition. Alright. So, with that in mind, I think this should be pretty decent. Now, I'm going to also mention block off is going to be the same as usual. So you can see the block off is exactly the same as my previous video, and the inside is going to be the exact same as well. And over here is also going to be the exact same. So we're going to have that. Alright. And for the Wamp amplifier, the Wamp amplifier has wave 23, which 23 is going to have fire husks. Because they have fire husks, these elements, the element for these traps should be energy, right? So all these should be energy, and or the assassin tunnel over here, this should be energy as well. So energy is the electric field, energy wall dynamo over here. Alright, and we have that in mind, and we should be good. The wall launcher is going to be double reload 4 times durability. This is going to be a wall light of double reload 3 times durability and healing. And this is going to be a healing wall launcher with double reload and 3 times durability. And this is going to be a wall dart with double crit. When I refer to double crit, it means that they're going to have both crit damage and both crit rating for all the perks. And it's going to be really common for me to use for traps that have a physical element to them. And because the wall darts have a relatively fast reload of 6 seconds, then I actually go for double crit, and this seems to be most effective. Alright. And same thing for the retractables, I always go for double crits as well. Alright. Let's see. Now, for the wall dart on the back, right? So because this wall launcher itself does not have healing, right? I do want that extra durability on the 6th perk. So this wall dart is going to have healing instead, right? So this wall dart is going to have healing. This will shoot through over here. Alright. And this is for the beach amplifier, which I'll get to soon after the Wamp amplifier. Now you can notice at the front block off, there's a little bit of difference, right? I'm having these wall launchers, and these wall launchers have actually been doing pretty good. So these wall launchers are my healing wall launchers with double reload 3 times durability, but I think I'll replace them later to something more suitable, so they have less durability. So they'll have more durability and less reload. So I think I'll replace it with something like that later on. So I have to write down a note sometime. I have to write down a note for that. And moving on to the other assassin tests that may be possible, right? So those are the assassin tests from the Wamp amplifier. And this could be assassin husks from the Wamp amplifier as well, going to the north side, right? And also the assassin husk from the home base. And so basically we have wall spikes over here. This is healing wall spikes. So if it's possible that they're coming through over here and breaking on the wall, then the wall spikes should kill them. for the other side over here, this is going to be double reload, 4 times durability, wall launcher. Launch them back, and we have a double gas crit. Alright. And the reason why I don't use a wall spike is because what I noticed is that some of the husks that are hitting on this wall are the baseball bats, and the baseball bats, they won't actually get the recoil from the wall spikes. Now, the Wamp amplifier is also another build that I've also done some changes from my last recording because I wasn't satisfied with the previous build. So I went ahead and changed it completely. And I'm going to be doing the exact same pathing as my previous Wamp because this pathing is a very long pathing and I want to use it because it's a much longer path than my previous amp, and I'm not going to be doing any recycling. So I'm not going to do any recycling. I'm just going to be doing lots of sound walls at the beginning, but it's going to be kind of a huge burst. So these are going to be a row of 69s over here. So there's going to be 4 69ers, right? And these ones are going to have full 2 times reload and 4 times durability. And then behind those are going to be the 51s. So these are 2 stars. 4 times durability, single reloads. 4 times durability, single reloads. Alright. As they come up. And then there should be lots and lots of happy stuff. So as you can see, there's like the seeing electric fields here. But there's actually quite a bit going on. Quite a bit going on inside here. So we got wooden floor spikes all the way across because I'm going to launch them in here. Once I launch them in here, and then they're going to be do massive damage. And of course, the seeing electric fields around them can also do damage to them. So it's really nice. Oh, and the seeing electric fields and dynamos are all going to be energy. So it's important to have energy element in this amplifier because wave 23 is going to be fire, and nature is not good against fire. So there's going to be a whole line of wall launchers over here at the beginning because I really want to make sure all the regular husks are dead, and the only possible husks that are going to be left alive are the smashers. And the smashers, I'm just going to go massive ceiling zappers all the way across. Ceiling zappers, dynamos, all the good stuff in order to really zap the crap out of them. Alright. And retractable floor spikes, all of them are going to be the double crits. So retractables are all double crits with healing. And all the wooden floor spikes over here are going to have healing. Okay. And this wall launcher is going to be single reload, 5 times durability. This one is going to be double reload, 4 times durability. This one is going to be 3 times impact, single reload, and 2 times durability. This is going to be 3 times impact, double reload. Alright, so it's going to be different wall launchers for here, but it's all about the durability because the further along you go, the less durability is going to be used. So that's why I'm kind of like trying to balance it out. So 3 of these are going to have the retractable floor spikes, and then one of them is going to have the flame grill. I could possibly put the flame grill in here. And that's pretty much this build over here. And then behind that, there's going to be 2 walls like that, 2 walls like that, and this is just a block off for this front area. Right, to make sure that the diagonal pathing of this area is sufficient as a sufficient layering. Okay. Now we know there's 2 layers under here, and then there's going to be a layer in here. I can probably remove one of these layers, but I'll keep it for now. Over here, there's going to be pretty much the exact same layering as I had in my previous video. So all this over here is the exact same layering on my previous video as my previous video. There hasn't been any changes. However, when you're building this amplifier, it's very important to make sure that you do not connect this block off to this to this thing over here, to this well, I can't think, to this tunnel. So don't connect this block off to the tunnel. I think that'll be bad. At least I think it'll be bad. So yeah, so don't connect it and you should be good to go. And for the front block off, I don't have this connecting to the back, and it seems like it's been working pretty good when I've been doing that, so I think I'll keep doing that. I'll just stick with that. But yeah, I think that should be good in that area. And that area is also layering as well. Same layering as before, pretty much. Just have a couple of layers removed over here. So if you want an overview of this, you can just kind of see this. So I think this would be the best spot for the base. That spot would be best. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, cool. So I figured that out. And I think we should be good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So all the wall darts would get, all the wall darts here would get the boost. These wall darts won't get the boost, but that's okay. Yeah, I think it should be good. Alright, so this space should power up all the way over here. Alright, cool. But yeah, that is going to be my build for the Wamp amplifier. And I need to do more testing, but so far it's been working okay. Alright. So, but again, this build is not finalized. It's more of something I thought about, and I was like, let's just really put crap ton of traps here. No recycling, just go full on. So yeah. Alright. I totally forgot to mention, but the amp design over here hasn't changed since my last video on the Wamp amplifier. So the only thing I've changed, maybe if you consider it a change, is remove some wall spikes, but that's it. Everything else in here should be the same, and the mini bosses should be dancing as usual. And this part hasn't changed as well. These are 2 walls with wall spikes, and this is for the assassin husks that may phase through, and also it acts as additional layering for the rare spawn on the Wamp. So make sure you have those, and you should be good. And I think I didn't miss anything for the Wamp amplifier. Alright, so let's go to the beach. So the beach is connected to the valley in some ways, right? Pretty much all the builds are connected to each other in some ways. So in this particular one, it's going to be this block off. So this block off hasn't changed. We have the walls over here, the slants, those 2 walls, and then the flat floor over there. And this flat floor seems to add layering. And then additionally, we're going to have those back walls over here, right? So these walls are also act as additional layering. And this is also going to prevent the flingers from passing through over here, right? Because they have to do a double phase, which I haven't seen them do a double phase yet. The only phasing I've seen them do is a single phase. So far it's been okay. Also, I think you can also add this over here, but I would have to double check it. Let me go to this. I would have to double check, but I'm pretty sure you can also do this too. And the flingers will still come over here trying to fling over. So I think this freeze trap is double reload, right? So I think it's double reload, so like what I could do is probably put like a wall launcher here or something. Yeah, I'm gonna try it out, but no guarantees it'll work. So you can put the dynamos over there and wall launcher. So offsetting dynamo reloads, wall launcher. Let's see what happens. I actually would have no idea. But anyway, so the reason why I'm thinking about adding this wall launcher here is because sometimes the flinger actually does successfully shoot, and on the very rare occasion when it does shoot, it can break this lava shield. Very rare for that to happen, but it can happen. So I'm thinking maybe I could try this and see what happens. But who knows? Again, testing has to be done. Any little changes I do here and there are just for the simplicity of me trying to test things out. And that's pretty much it. Could be possible I might not need this this over here, since I'm connected to the back here. I don't know, let's see what happens. Again, I'll test it out and see what happens if I move it. But anyway, this block off for the most part has been relatively the same throughout, right? So it's been relatively the same throughout for the beach amplifier, right? So this block off is for the beach south. So we have a beach south in this area. And this beach south, they want to make sure we path them all the way towards the east. And to do that, we're going to have sufficient layering. And this layering is going to be pretty much is going to be slant wall, sandwiches, and everything, right, as shown here. And then we're going to do slant wall, as usual, yet again, right? So nothing really too alarming over here. But just remember when you're doing this, that this block off is not connecting to the amplifier. It's very critical that this block off is not connecting to the amplifier. Alright, it's also very critical that if, for whatever reason, that you are recycling the husks, right? So in this area we're going to be recycling the husks into the pit. This is a very common build, recycling the husks into the pit. If for whatever reason you are pathing them back up, which is perfectly fine, make sure they do not path back up in this area, right? So this area, it's imperative that they don't path back up because of how close the block off is to the amplifier. Because the block off is so close to the amplifier and we keep recycling them back and forth, it seems that they actually do charge because of that. That seems to be my theory, at least right now. So because this area is really connected to a very close area in the block off to the amplifier, if we stagger them too much, then they're going to charge this area. However, if we path them to an area that's not connected to that block off, which is near the amplifier, then it should be okay. So path them back here should be okay, and that's why I have that layering. That's why I have this area over here. This is nothing too new either. It's nothing really new. This is the exact same from my previous video, but I have additional wooden floor spikes for more slope. Now everything in this area has remained the same pretty much, right? So this is just a revisit of the Wamp amp that I just explained, and this amplifier design is the same as before. We have walls all surrounding from the west. We have these two walls over here, right? So everything in here is pretty much the same. And this would always dance the mini boss. So far I haven't had a failed mini boss dance, but that's so far. Right, so all these walls are the same. Everything here. I think that should be it. And of course we have a flat floor over here, and the wall over here, and this over here. And this is also very important. Alright, so we have that there. Another thing that's very critical is that we're making a lobber shield that's connected to the amplifier, right? So this is connected to the amplifier. Now this lobber shield is imperative that it is not touching any tunnel whatsoever. It is not touching the block off, right? So I've explained this in another video where we can't have this touching, right? So you see that they're like really close together, but they're actually not connected, right? That lobber shield is not connected to anything, right? See, it's really close, but it's not connected. So it's really important to not have any connections whatsoever. And alright, and if they're connected, we could have a problem with the AI. Okay, now, and this east side, it should be relatively easy to build. In fact, I think Beach East is probably the easiest build out of all the builds. Alright, so they spawn in that area over here. They spawn in this area over here a little bit. And they're going to be pathing on here. So I used to use a half stair, and I changed that to just a half floor. And this seems to be working fine, just pathing up here. There might be an extremely rare occasion where this breaks, like 1 in 50 or 1 in 100, but I haven't seen it since I built my amplifier this way, or built this pathing this way. And this block off over here is the same as usual, with floors, pyramids, walls all surrounding that, and the slants behind them. Exact same as before. This one is a little oddity over here. So this one, it used to be only one layer, and this should be suffice. But seeing in recent patches, I need more than one layer, so I needed 2 layers. But then another, or whatever patch, I don't know, or some change, then the flingers would want to come through and try to fling. So I added those 2, I added this lava shield for this area, and this seems to solve the problem. Alright, it could be possible I might just put the lava shield here, and this might work. I'll remove this, and I'll remove this. And let's see what happens. Do I need this still? Yeah, I think I do. So I'm going to see what happens when I do this, right? But don't, if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But this is just trying to save one structure, and that's it. I'm just trying to save that one structure. But I do need this over here, because there's been a case where the flinger was trying to fling from up there, right? Now you could put more wooden floor spikes over here, but it's not necessary in my opinion. Alright. Now, when we come up here, right, we're gonna have wall launchers. So these are double reload. So this is a double reload 4x durability, double reload 4x durability. And then every other wall launcher is going to be triple reload, double reload, triple impact. Double reload, triple impact floor launchers. And we should be golden. Alright. And then this tar pit over here is there because I really want to make sure they don't get through. So knock them off right there. And I think that should be it for this area. Oh yeah, and also, make sure that we have a 2-layer over here. Alright. So, with that in mind, we can move on. So, you probably just noticed that there's some stuff down here. So what I'm trying to do is get all the husks pathing on this water, right? So all husks except for smashers will get slowed by the water. For some reason smashers don't get slowed by water. They might be like too giant or something. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. And I'm gonna see. You know what? I think this should be fine. Yeah, I removed a layer. Oh, I removed a layer from here to see if it would still work. I haven't checked this area since, so I'm gonna check that out in another when I'm testing again. Alright, so but yeah, once they come back from out of the waters, and then we start slowing them instantly with these wooden floor spikes. Wooden floor spikes and stuff like that. Alright. I don't want to spam for wooden floor spikes, but I just have them spread out evenly. Now all this area over here is pretty much the exact same. I added the 2 wall dynamos over here. These wall dynamos are nature with what's it called, with reloads. So these ones have reloads on them. And the lava shield is kind of weird. It has gone through some changes, but the overall design hasn't changed, right? So the peaks haven't changed, but the little inner parts here have changed. All right, so you can get that lava shield like that, and you should be good. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be talking about the lava amplifier. And basically this lava amplifier, I want to redo my previous recording because it was a bit too long. But yeah, essentially what I'm going to be doing is that it's going to be connecting the lava shield from the block off on the lava all the way over to this over here, which is the valley. So make sure that you can do that for your builds. Now, unless you're using a different valley build, then by all means do something. You can do something else. Now, the actual build itself really hasn't changed from the previous patch, right? Like overall, everything has been the same, whether it be this lava shield or whether it be the block off. Pretty much has been the same, right? I just maybe done a little bit of changes here and there, remove some tiles here and there, and that's it, right? All these wall launchers are going to have healing with double reload and 3 times impact. I think except for these ones have healing and double reload 3 times durability. But yeah, pretty much most of this is going to remain the same. And what it's going to end up happening is all the husks, except for the smashers and propane, will go to the geyser. And the propanes and smashers will go up here, along with any other assassin husks. And the assassin husks that I'm going to be... and the assassin husks, but then generally what they end up doing is that they go up here, and then just fall down. They don't actually even go up here. The only exception, I think, is the flingers. The flingers, I guess, is not assassin husks, but a flinger, they're gonna get launched all the way over here, and they should end up going down there. At least that's the plan right now. Now, one thing I think I want to say that's worth mentioning, right, is that I actually changed the launchers over here. So all these wall launchers are going to have 4 times impact. And the reason being is because I feel like I want to make that flinger fling really far over here and then get them to path over there. That's what I'm trying to do with the flinger, and hopefully it'll work. Right? I'm not sure if I would have to do like something really weird with like over here or something to make sure that the flinger gets over here, but I don't know. I have to really want to get the flinger over here. So that's probably the only tidbit that I'd say that I need to really see if it'll work, is that flinger. But everything else in the build has been exactly the same in terms of functionality. At least with the addition of this area, which I'll explain. And to try to save on structures, I just put a wooden floor spike here, and a wooden floor spike there. So one wooden floor spike, and wall launch, another wooden floor spike, wall launch. And this hopefully would, well actually no, I'm pretty certain that this will get all the husks launched over here, or a smasher stagger down here. If a smasher staggers down, they should actually end up going into that area. And this area over here is pretty much all I'm going to do is launch the husks into the lava. All these traps over here, 3 times impact, double reload, with the tar pit at the very end. Okay, I start off with the wooden floor spike, and then get them all the way over here, and then it should be boom, easy. Now of course I could use the full floor over here, or the what's it called, the low half wall, right? So I could do this instead, but I just want to save that little extra structure over there and not bother. Okay. And yeah, that should be that area over here, and then just get them all the way down. So I use the half stair to try to cheat my way to getting them on the edge, and then go straight down over here, all the way to the imp, and this should complete it. And because this area is all open, this particular amplifier I don't think can be a regular build anymore, because I don't have enough block off for this area. I don't feel like I'll have enough block off. Right, because this particular area, for example, is going to have minus pause, so I can't place any walls around here at all. The only possible layering I could do for the for this area is going to be possibly over here, right? And then this area has to be completely open. So if you're going to use their regular builds for the valley and not using a cheesy build of some sort, like Smasher Bridge or whatever, and you're gonna, the only possible layering that you could do is maybe over here, right? So I think that should be, yeah, I think that's the only possible layering that you can do, and everything else is gonna be like yeah. And even then, I don't know if this will work. But anyway, for those that actually are using a different valley build, I'll let you guys figure it out. But I think Smasher Bridges and such in general has been a lot more mainstream in terms of how to build this valley amplifier. But anyway, you guys do you. So since I'm using that design over there with the 16 poles and 4 arches, I'm going to explain the build. So it's going to be very similar to before, where I have the walls over here, and this is just to prevent them from taking the shortcut. And then I have the front area over here, so I'm going to block the front. So I'm going to block this east side, and I'm going to try to get all the husks over here. And this is going to be kind of the standard procedure that I did in one of my previous damage builds, except it's going to be slightly modified, which is not really that big of a modification to begin with, in my opinion. So, wooden floor spikes at the beginning, I think I may even go higher durability on this one, but it's not a big deal. And just some scene electric fields, and scene electric fields are going to be all nature. So all these are going to be nature, and dynamos are going to be nature, sting zappers are going to be nature. And it's very important that I think that you have some recycling going on in your damage builds if you can integrate into them. But the recycling that you have to use has to be smart. For example, if you're using the wall launcher over here, I don't think it's a really smart idea because it only launches them like maybe 1 or 2 tiles away, right? And it doesn't really take advantage of that muddy traps. But if you use a wall launcher over here, for example, 4 times durability, double reload, launch them over here, right? 0 impact, and now you get them over here. So then they're recycling 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so it was like 12 traps recycled, whereas compared to only launching them over 2 tiles, you're not really taking advantage of many traps. Yeah, try to make sure you're smart with your wall launching if you're doing recycling. Now, when you come over here, we're going to be using zappers because the density of this shouldn't be too high, and the zappers are going to start doing their thing. So slow them again because the last slow is 2 tiles away. And we're going to do wall darts, and there's going to be some stuff in this area, and I'll explain. Zap them more, but overall, just do whatever traps you feel like are best. It's not really a big deal, just make sure you're not doing much recycling initially over here, right? That's probably the most important thing. Don't do much recycling in here. And then we do the other recycling, right? So this is 4 times impact flow launcher and 5 times impact flow launcher. So this one's gonna have 1 reload. And this one, they're gonna get the husks all the way back into here. And this would be a massive recycler, right? So the wall darts surrounding it, and then they have to take this really long pathway to get all the way back up, right? And if they make it over to here, and this would launch them all the way back up again, right? So you have 2 floor launchers as really nice, recycling. All right. Now another thing to note that if this design ever fails, right? So this design ever fails, then this entire area, all these walls would be like completely destroyed. So you would have to repair that. But generally speaking, this amplifier should be safe, generally speaking. But I don't like the fact that this amplifier design can fail sometimes. So I think that's that. And then we also have this area over here. So I have floors underneath, even though they may not act as additional layering, but I think these are actually necessary for the lava bomb shift. I don't know if these actually act as additional layering, but maybe, I don't know. And I got rid of these walls over here. I didn't feel like they were needed, so I just removed them, but I could be wrong. At least for a non-cheesy build, but yeah, I'll have to see. So I got rid of that. And yeah, I think that is the design over here, right? And just like beach over here, you're going to need to have sufficient layers for this area. Okay, I think that'll be it for the valley and the pit. Now, another thing to note as well, which I kind of changed my camping spot over here. I kind of did, and the reason why I changed it, it's because I feel like it might not needed to go all the way over to the east side. Right? I went all the way over to the east side because my particular block off on the Wamp amplifier was not wall launchers. But now because they're wall launchers, I may not actually really need to really worry about this too much. So, and I just let them path. So once the assassin husks change their pathing, and they go back into here, and they go over here to here. So that's the idea. So I don't think I need to go there really that much east anymore. I just stay up there. Okay, so a little bit of structure savings on that assassin, on this camping spot. Alright, so how high we go? So going in from this position, we go 1, 2, slant up, 1, 2, slant up, and then I guess we slant up 4 times. So there's a total of 4 slants, and then I just do this, right? So this way I can look down on either way. Okay, and yeah, that would be the valley amplifier. The hill. Hill South has experienced some changes, but the pathing is the same. They spawn over here, and we're going to try to path the husks into this tunnel. And this tunnel is going to be lots of saddles at the beginning, right? and then boom. And we want to make sure we get squeeze in sound walls at for the first 3 tiles or so, right? Even doing double sound walls if possible, right? It's really important to get those husks, to get the what's it called, the propanes, or dropping their propanes, and making sure that the dancing animation is long enough where you can get to the wall launcher, right, without getting danced again, right, because that'll be kind of a waste. So, and this duration should be enough. And once they get over to the wall launcher, they'll get launched, and then boom, right? And then lots of damage everywhere, or if the further they go in, the more damage they do because they have to walk further back. And that's kind of the idea that I have. And this is where I'm going to place the base. I'm using constructor. I'm going to place the base in here. Yeah, or I could place it on the Wamp. Whatever works, really. Wamp or this. Now, of course, if you place a base here, you might be able to get away, instead of using these full wall, the whole walls, the walls of the hole, using the low half walls, right? So using these instead would net you better results with the wall darts, because you're going to be more reliable. But however, because most of the times I don't use a base, so I'm using the walls of the hole. All right, which kind of a little bit of a waste, but not exactly in this case over here, because I need these walls anyway for the assassin husks, and I need these to have healing, so I just use wall darts. So these parts are not waste. This part is not a waste either, because I need this to have healing as well, right? Same type of double gas with the freeze trap, and then I put this one as healing as well. I don't think this one's necessary to have healing, but I put it there. And then these ones may be kind of a waste, right? So these 3 wall darts might be kind of a waste, but they may add extra damage over time, so that's why I still have them there. But if you're using the low half walls, right? Using low half walls, then definitely recommend to do that, but only if you have the base. Okay, so I'll only recommend that if you have the base. I think though, you should, if you're going to do the low walls, make sure that this wall, so I'm going to mark it, this wall over here is still the wall with the hole, because the husks might want to do a shortcut, right? They might want to do a shortcut if that's not layered properly. Alright, and yeah, there's going to be some ceiling zappers, stuff, lots of damage, boom, boom, boom. Now, all the dynamos, these ceiling zappers and ceiling electric fields at the top, right? So you see ceiling electric field at the top, pathing on the right side, ceiling electric fields all the way around. So all these are going to have nature. So make sure you have nature damage on these. All right. So we're going to have a lobber shield for this area and block off. Now, I'm going to also add that make sure you don't have this area connected. So this block off cannot connect to this tunnel, at least directly. So it can connect from the lobber shield. So it seems like this lobber shield can connect, but in terms of this connection, it cannot. It seems like the husk AI goes crazy. So don't connect that, and you should be good. I'm not sure if a connection also includes the floor. The floor might be an exception, but I'm not entirely sure. Alright, so this over here. Now I removed some layers over here, right? Remove some layers, and I'm still testing this, right? So I used to have these layers over here. I think I might try removing this. Can I remove that one? I don't know. No, I'll leave it. So essentially, so remember I said that these floors don't do anything, right? So these floors, indeed, from a certain patch, they just stop doing anything. However, it seems like these floors still add additional layering. So when I added these floors, they do add additional layering. So that's why we removed some of those structures. Alright. Oh, lag. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the the Hill West. So in the Hill West over here, what we're going to be doing we're going to be blocking this part over here with lots of layering. There's no floors underneath over here. Just going to be tons and tons of layering. So 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, 4 layer, 5 layer, 6 layer, and 7 layers. So there's going to be 7 layers at the front, alright? And that's what it looks like. The assassin tunnel over here is the exact same as before. There's been no changes to it, right? I think I put this as a wall spike instead of a wall launcher. Double gas and the freeze trap. Alright, so this is 7 layers, and this has 2, 3, 4 layers in the back. A total of 11 layers, and this is the exact layers you need to make this work. And yeah, so far it's been working great. Alright. And then we have a bunch of wall launchers, and pretty much that's how this build goes. And then pretty much they'll just be launched down into the lava. Alright, I have more launchers than I really need, I guess, right? Because there's some cases where the launchers might run out, or the wave 9 denied, right? That wave does have the anomaly spawn in here, which prevents the wall launcher from working. Alright, but overall, pretty good. Alright, now another thing to note as well is that the reason why I put them one more tile over to the north is so that there's 2 tiles available for the smasher to get staggered into the lava. Right? If I put it 1 tile over to the south, there's only 1 tile available for the smasher to get staggered. I really want the smasher staggered down into the lava, so that's why I did this. Alright, and also it feels like it's safer for the charges, because you know sometimes the smashers be charging, and I don't want the smashers charging on the amplifier. So that's also another reason why I did this. I'm not sure if I can get away with... No, it's fine. Alright, so, and that is that over there. Now we got a lobber shield. Lobber shield is very similar to the previous design, so I'm just going to go ahead and just show it right here. Copy paste, and you're good. Okay, make sure we still have flat floor, and I think that should be it for the hill south. There's not really that much to talk about. Right, I mean, I'm using the 69ers on the wooden floor spikes, but yeah. The launchers I'm using, they're not going to have any of the high durability rolls, so it's just going to be 3 times impact, double reload wall launchers all the way across. And the last one, I think I put up 5 times impact for, I don't know, the hell of it. And the floor launcher over here is 4 times impact single reload. Alright, and that's it. That's all that is over there. I put wall spikes at the front there because I did notice some assassin husks hit on it, or they got stuck, so I just put it there. This seems to be alright. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am back, and basically I've done a little bit of changes in the bridge in the middle of editing because I was actually worried about the assassin husks quite a bit, and it costs tile savings. And I saved a little bit of tiles by building a big lobber shield. So this is kind of a big lobber shield, but what's going to end up happening is that the assassin husk from the bridge, when I'm camping on the other side, is going to be pathed in this area. I think I've done a build like this before where I'm using a giant lobber shield instead of using the kill boxes. Now, because of my previous build, I was building like over here, right? So I already had structures in here, so it wasn't really that much to build kill zones, but because I'm not building anything here, I had to build quite a bit to build those kill zones, and I figured the lobber shield just would be good enough for that. So they'll come up here and then walk back, right? So yeah, I have a giant lobber shield for dealing with the assassin husks on the bridge, which is nice. Alright, so for the bridge amplifier, we're also going to have a block off over here, right, and block off over there, right? So block off over to the south is for flingers, and this over here is for flingers and any other potential assassin husks. And we're gonna have another one for the flingers. So this one is all the way back here, which is right behind the Devil West spawn. So this one's got to be blocked as well. Alright, and there's a wall spike over there. But yeah, I'm not sure if I really need the wall spec, but you can decide. Alright, and we're also going to be doing the assassin husks from the pit. So the assassin husks from the pit, which is over here, right? So they spawn on here, and they're also going to be pathing towards the south, which is going to be for my amplifier. So because of that, I'm going to place certain walls that have healing and damage. So a healing wall dart shooting over here, a healing wall dart shooting over, and a healing wall dynamo over here. And I think this should be sufficient. Alright. So with that in mind, we can also note that the assassin husks, if they don't path over there, they're going to path over here. Majority of them should path over here, actually, on the stair, which I'll explain the stair, and up here, right? So up here they might be greeted by these. It doesn't really matter if they're there or not for them. So they'll have a free pathing to go wherever they want for the assassin husks because of the stair. All right. So that is that over there. Now I'll explain why I have this later. For now, let's look at the tunnel, and the layering itself I'm going to be pathing them over here, right? So this pathing, as you can see, right? So they spawn over here, and I'm going to path right directly over here. Right? Most of them should be coming from this long way over here. In the middle, it should be a very simple block of wall, slant, wall, floor, slant, wall, slant, wall, slant, wall. Very simple. In fact, you can probably remove a layer, and I think it should be fine. But I have an additional layer because of the meteorites. Alright. The tunneling is going to be a somewhat simple tunneling with launchers and floor launching. Alright. And it's going to be really important, in my opinion, to get the husks down here. So we really want to get the husks down here whenever we can, because we're going to have a different tunnel when they get down here, so that they can path over, and then we launch them into the lava. Right? So that's the strategy over here. We launch them into an area which would be a completely different area, right? So we launch them into a completely different area, and they'll have a completely different pathing, right? Launch them different area, get a different pathing. Right, so this is kind of similar strategy that I did for the pit amplifier, right? Except not nearly as expensive. Alright, so when we have that idea, we're going to talk about the rolls. So the rolls and the traps, I didn't talk about too much in the previous one, in the previous build, well I guess I did, but this one's going to be kind of a little bit exact. So this one is going to have 5 times durability, single reload. This one is going to have 2 times reload, 4 times durability. This one is going to have 1 times impact, 1 times reload, 4 times durability. And this one is going to have 3 times impact. Wait, no. 3 times impact, single reload, 2 times durability. Alright, and this one is going to have 3 times impact, double reload, and then single durability. Alright. And this one is going to be 2 times reload, 4 times durability. This one is going to be 3 times impact, 2 times reload, and single durability. And this one over here, 3 times impact, 3 times impact, single reload, 2 times durability. Alright. But I think this one you can probably just get away with using the 4 times impact single reloader, to be honest. I might actually just change it, because I don't think the durability is really that necessary in this one. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. But yeah, in any case though, you can kind of see that, so the floor launcher and wall launcher are going to have different reloads. Alright, but the closer you are to the tunnel, the more durability we're going to need. It's unfortunate though, because the strength of these floor launchers required are 3 times impact, they're going to have less durability. So you may need to replace this on wave 30. So now, on the odd chance a husk actually makes it all the way over, they're going to get hit by the wall light. The wall light is intended for the smasher to get down here, right? Now, the wall light's not going to do anything for regular husks. And most likely, if a husk comes up here, gets hit by the wall light, they're either going to have 4 or 5 of their crowd control used up, right? So by that time, they're not going to have any crowd control left for them to use. So at this point, it'd be pointless to use like a wall launcher to launch them over here, for example, because most likely it's not going to work. So instead, we just kill them, right? So a ceiling zapper with pure damage and nature. Electric field, electric field with nature and crit. Retractable with double crit. And then we have the wall darts over there with double crits, right? So we really want to kill the regular husks if they actually make it up here, to ensure that this will not have damage, right? I mean, you might be like a couple husks, like consecutively, maybe they'll get through. But most likely, it's not going to do very much damage to the amplifier if they get through. Alright, and the only husks that are going to get through are the regular husks because they're faster and they recover much quicker. Alright, so for the husky husks and bride husks are very slow, even though they have resistance to chain kind of crowd control. The husky husks are they're not slow, but they have a very long recovery rate, right? So their recovery is really long, so when they get launched, they're on the floor and they need to get back up. But the regular husks, they just get back on their feet instantly. But the regular husks, consequently, it doesn't take much impact to knock them over, and they're very weak. Alright, so with that in mind, we can also talk about the this tunneling. So once we actually launch them in here, we're going to have a tunneling over here. So this is going to have single reload 5 times durability, single reload 5 times durability, and we have 2 times reload, 3 times impact, right? And we really want to make sure that they get into the lava, right? So this one's going to have a bigger punch at the end, and these ones just have higher durability. Alright. So once they're actually into the lava, they die. The only husks that are not going to die is smashers and the laser boys, and possibly flingers too, but they shouldn't be a threat in my opinion. Alright, so once they're actually get up all the way over here, right? So there's a pathing I'm doing over here, which kind of looks kind of odd. Like, can they really path up here? Indeed, so they can actually path up here, which is kind of cool. So so this is going to path all the way up here. There's a wall light for the smasher if they come up here, and I haven't seen the smasher come up here yet, so I don't know if it really will do anything, but I just left it there. And then lastly, we'll be met up with the amp, right? And the wall that the husks are going to be trying to destroy is going to be this one in particular. So this one I'm pointing at over here is the wall in question that they're going to actually want to destroy. Alright. Now, so if a smasher comes up here, right, if they make it over here and they pass the wall launcher, and the wall launcher wasn't successful, staggering in the lava, they go through the stair. But from my observation, when they did, they phased through the stair and went into the lava. I don't know why. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just accept that. Cool. Maybe that's kind of a feature. Who knows? I like these kind of features. I don't like accidentally going to lava though. In any case though, I think this is a really good starting point. But I'm gonna test the bridge out, particularly the this new lava shield that I'm using, right? And without the assassin killing boxes. All right. So that is that. Now, the lava shield itself, you can kind of just take a screenshot of it and just like copy it. So that's what it looks like. Alright. The mini boss design over here. So dealing with the mini bosses. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You can let them dance, right? Take the risk and let them dance. And it's kind of risky for the higher waves because all of them might not dance. Right, and I still need to test the dancing. So if the dancing if they go right under here, then I may need to do something like where I need to put a wall over here or something. Put a wall over there and make them path over there, or I don't know. I'll have to think of something. Or maybe I have to do this, or yeah, I don't know. But anyways, I'll test that out. Now, if you really want to deal with the mini bosses on way 30, what you can do is just edit the floor. And there's a particular way you edit, so they're going to walk up here, right? You're going to walk along the edge, Alright, and then once they're on the edge, you just edit the floor as shown like this, so that the husk can still path over here and it hasn't changed, right? If you try to edit the floor like this, so suppose they're walking up, and you edit the floor like this, right? You've broken the pathing, and now the husks are going crazy. Even if you try to fix it, they'll still go crazy. So make sure you edit the floor properly like this, going up like this. All right, up and down like this, up and down, up and down. All right. So with that in mind, I think you should be able to deal with the mini bosses, and they should be really easy for this wave. Another thing I'm going to talk about is this particular block off. So for the husk to get in here and path up there, you're going to need some block off. You need a minimum of 7 layers, but I have 8. So there's 1 layer here. There's 2 layer. Or actually, yeah, 1 layer, 2 layer, 3 layer, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then there's the wall spikes. So because I've noticed the phasing that happened over here, so I put a wall spike for that. I put a wall spike on both sides over here for phasing, like I mentioned previously, and a wall spike on this side over here, but I don't know if this wall spike in question is actually needed. But I place it here. But I'll place it here and check the durability. Okay, and that is the heat bridge amplifier. It's kind of a weird design, I think, because we're kind of launching them in here, and then we're changing their pathing to go in here and then launch into lava. And we have this weird pathing all the way going behind the spawn. So yeah, but it's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty cool build. I like it. So I'm going to do more experimenting with it. The only downside, I think the main downside with this is the chain launching from these wall and floor launchers going up the way over here and then going over here, because these floors don't have much durability. So that's the main downside of this build, is the durability on those floor launchers. Alright. So if those floor launchers run out of durability, and then the only launchers that are going to be working for the getting here is going to be these two, right? I think it's not going to be enough. So maybe it could be possible that I may need to change this to a floor launcher. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. This floor spike. So this is that's a double, so I'm gonna do a single, double, single, and here we go. I'll try that and see how that goes. So now I have 4 different launchers I can launch them in here. Maybe that'll work better. At least that's what I'm thinking. But who knows, I could be wrong. And I think maybe I should also put this here so that they can't do the shortcut. Right, so these are purely going into here. I'll try this and see how it goes. Alright, but yeah, that's the bridge overall and what I'm doing. And I hope it works out pretty good for you guys as well. We're gonna place some anti-airs, as you can see. But yeah, it's up to you if you want to place them or not. If you don't place them, I don't think you'll fail, but it's more like you have an increased chance of getting holes in your build, which may have flingers or whatever, you know, or maybe it'll break builds or something. But yeah, you do you. A good tip, in my opinion, is to place flat floors like you're placing lobber shield, right? So for example, here I know I'm gonna put a gas trap, so I'm gonna place a flat floor over there. These I know is gonna be part of my lobber shield. It's gonna be part of the amp design, so I place them on there. This is part of the lobber shield, so I place them there. And these ones are I don't think they're necessary for the lobber shield. I don't think they are. They might not be, but I had them there because I thought they were. But I placed them there anyway. So anyway, yeah, you do you and exactly how you want to place them. So we onwards to the pit. very similar to what I had before. It's almost identical block off. Now, this is a very recent change I've done, and I'm still testing it, and it's kind of sketchy because if the husks get too close over there, then they might activate the lava bomb. But essentially, it's going to be a split pathing, right? So the husks spawn in this area and this area, and the husks can path over here. So they can path all the way on here on this little edge and path all the way up. And surprisingly, you can actually get up here. See, like it's actually pretty decent. See, from up here, yeah. So from here to here, you can get up here. So it's like a little bit less than half a tile. It looks like. See, yeah, just about half a tile of space. So yeah, it's kind of cool. And then once they get up here, then they can path all the way over, and it seems like it works. So I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I'll leave it. But yeah, let me know if this actually works for you, because this is something only like today I'm trying out, because a friend told me about it. I don't know, I don't think I need the floor over here. I don't think I need a floor, so I'll just remove it. And don't think I need a floor. Yeah, I think I do need a floor here. Alright. And then we just path the hustle over here. So this wall launcher is going to be 3 times impact and double reload. This is going to be 3 times impact, double reload, and launch them to the south. I think I might, perhaps I might change it too. I might change it to, do I have, I don't have the wall launcher available, but I'm thinking about changing it to higher durability and a little bit slower reload. Just so that I can get them lasting longer. At least that's what my thinking is, but it's not a big deal if I don't do it. So you know what? I'll write down my notes. All right. So launch them in here. Boom. And then this one is going to have 2 times impact, single reload. 2 times impact, single reload, and going all the way down here into there. And the reason why I think this one is not as important is because these ones are going to be launching down here, and they're going to delay the husks, right? They're not going to despawn, they're just going to sit there for a little bit, and then eventually despawn, right? Whereas this one, they just go instantly in lava and they die, and then more is going to respawn, right? So it's not as important, but it's kind of a nice addition to have, in my opinion. And then this one is a floor launcher, and this one's a wall launcher. So this wall launcher is going to have 2 times reload and 2 times reload. Why am I derping right now? 2 times reload, 4 times durability. This one's going to be a single reload floor launcher with 3 times impact. So it's going to have 3 times impact and 2 times durability. This one is going to be 3 times impact, 2 times reload, single durability wall launcher. And this is going to be a tar pit. And then they go into the floor launcher and then the wall lights. Alright? And the floor launcher and the wall light is there because the wall light doesn't get destroyed by the tornado. And the floor launcher never gets destroyed by the tornado as well, so that's why I kept them there. Alright, and once they come down over here, we're going to plop, and they just hang around, right? Because I disconnected this area over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be showing you a slight modification of this pit that I have. And I think it's somewhat important to show because this would actually help your build quite a bit. So essentially, I had floors under here, right? To prevent them from falling into lava and eventually chill over here. What I noticed though is that sometimes the floor would get destroyed. So, and I think it's because of the laser boys that are in the waters and they start meleeing the floors. So I think a really good solution for that is to launch them just before the lava, a level just before the lava. So from this little edited stair from the bridge, right, from my bridge build over here, I've attached a full wall to it and then half floors over here. So there's no need to put these walls over here because I think these walls would end up blowing up the propanes, right? So propanes would blow up. But as long as you leave it open, I think it should be okay. Alright, so I put the half floors over here, almost like a wall in a sense, but also preventing them from blowing up. Alright, and as you can see, I don't no longer need to have this attached all the way at the bottom. Alright, because it's attached to this edited stair. Now, this would also let them drop down over here, and then eventually they'll just come over to the floor launcher over here, and then they'll start using their durability. I might replace the floor launcher with full durability and no reload, because it seems like it's getting used quite a bit. Alright, so we have that over here, and they should just come down. Now, I think that should be it for the changes over there. Oh yeah, there's also the lava shield. So the lava shield also changed a little bit, because if they're 2 tiles high, the flingers can't actually melee it, or a lot of husks can't melee it. So it seems like flingers, laser boys, they seem like they can melee it if they're like over here, for example. So I place something over here, it seems like they can melee it. I don't know why. So if I change it to 2 tiles up, then that's okay. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Change it 2 tiles up, and that should be good. So if you want to have a different bird's eye view from it, so from that tile going down, and that's what it looks like over here, right? In addition to that, we're going to add those two floors over there as a ceiling. Okay, and that should be the lava shield for this area. And over here, it seems like the flingers are unable to fling, right, from all the way over here. So this is also good. If it was a flat floor, and I think they're able to fling. So, but half floors are king. So, yeah, I think that'll be it for the pit changes. This area is still the same. The dynamo's in there with healing. And the extreme block off I had before is pretty much the same. As you can see, remember not to go in that area as it'll trigger the lava bomb. Oh, hi Ridge. And then this block off on this side, let's take an upper view as well. So I need to experiment a little bit more with the block off to ensure it's actually enough, but so far it's been pretty good. Alright, so this is the last update that I had, and I haven't changed it since. And so far it's been going pretty good, so I'm just keeping it there. Alright, but yeah, that's pretty much pit. Just make sure you don't enter this area, so like, the limit is pretty much like here. Don't go more than here. Yeah, don't go more than here. Alright, and you're cool. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the Ridge Amplifier. In the Ridge Amplifier, I've done a few changes compared to my last recording because I had some issues on the Devil North Smashers trying to pad towards my ridge. So I was figured that instead I would try to see if I can path the Smashers into over here. But I still need to keep on testing. And it could be possible that the Smashers may start trying to path over here. If they do, then I have to think of a different solution. But in any case, I can show my build. Alright, so this particular ridge build over here, I have some random structures on here. Again, still need to be testing because this is a split pathing, which I'm doing. And in this ridge, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build some this tunnel. So this is like the main tunnel where the majority of husks are going to be taken. Unfortunately, it's not that long, but I'm just working with what I got. I'm using salvos, so I'm using the 69er over here. This is the 26, and this is the 51, right? So the 26 is level 10 with no reload. This one has 1 reload, and this has 2 reload. 69er with double reload, and this is 1 reload, right? So all different reloads to try to get the propanes knocked off. And then the electric fields here are going to be energy. So all the ceiling electric fields here are going to be energy, and I think it's kind of important to have them energy for now because of wave 12, which is a fire wave. But once you get to the higher waves, which could be potentially wave 21 or wave 26, and I figured at this point this is where we use the dynamos to have nature, right? And this we have the really big zap. So the dynamos I think are going to do the really big damage when they get wall launched in here for those higher level husks. But for the low level husks, I think you can use the electric fields and that should be good enough. Alright, so once they get launched in here, and then there's some wall darts all surrounding it, and some dynamos, right? And then they're going to be launched into the retractables. Okay, so that's pretty much the design. Now another thing I've also tested to ensure that is true is that when the husk gets launched in here, right, I need these windows. So I have windows all across, and it seems like this particular ceiling electric field can actually hit through the windows. So that's also a really nice addition that I found out. So I was like, well, it looks like I can do a little bit more damage then. But I'm not sure if it's 100% reliable compared to the low wall, right? So I'm not sure if it's 100% reliable compared to the low wall, but I think it still would be worth it to put these because the propane can still blow up in here. I need these walls to survive. And once they go back up here, there's going to be some nature dynamos and some wall darts going around, a tar pit, and yeah, and these are going to be zappers, ceiling zappers with nature. And I'm trying to zap them as much as I can when they come up here, but it could be very possible that wave 22 there could be some smashers leaking. So unless I put the base on here, then I think maybe that could solve that issue. But anyway, I had to experiment with that. But generally speaking, I try not to test with base because I think base I have a really big bias. But anyway, and that's pretty much the build that I have over here. Okay, and there's the wall darts on the other side. There's also another type of build that I'm thinking about trying to do, which is like using the very similar to the very similar to the Homebase North when I'm using these kind of designs. And I think these kind of designs are actually pretty cool. But for now, I am not using that. Okay. And so I'm also going to be talking about this particular block off, because there's going to be this other spawn here, which is kind of an annoying spawn if I'm using a damage build. Because if I'm using that tunnel, I can't get these husks to path over to that tunnel. This is simply just way too far away, and I can't even try to connect them from here. So if you try to like connect it from here, for example, it seems like this gets destroyed from the spawn. So I'm like, I'm not sure exactly what to do other than to have a different tunnel. And that's pretty much what I did. I have a tunnel on the west side over here and going straight across, which is a ton of structures to be using, but I think for what it is right now, it should work. And I think this should kill the smashers, at least decently. Okay, so this is going to have double reload, healing wall launcher, and same over here. And the husk density in here shouldn't be really that much, maybe only 10 to 20%. Or maybe up to 30, but it's definitely way less than 50%. Okay, so you have that, and there's going to be a lava bomb shift, and this lava bomb shift shouldn't be too hard. So we have 5 diamond floors, as you can see over there. There's no floors underneath here, and then we have the flat floors underneath here, right? But this is a newer build, so I'm not exactly sure if this particular lava bomb shift is going to be consistent. But however, it's actually, this particular block off isn't really too expensive in my opinion. Right, but you still have the main block off over there. I guess on the bright side, there's no lava shield, so I guess there is that. Okay, so once we have that, I'm going to move on to this area. There's going to be some 69er wall salvos over here, and I put healing over here because it's going to be lower density. And these are going to be the other 69ers, which are going to be, I think I used the healing ones over here, so they have different reloads going off when a floor spike to start out. And then we have wall launcher, double reload, 4 times durability, launching in here, and then bam. I didn't bother to change these to energy single electric fields, because for wave 4 the density is too low. Okay. So basically we're gonna have a row of these wall launchers going in, and they're gonna have wall darts surrounding it, right? So overall it should be pretty good damage, particularly for the nature husks. And then once we go across, and then we're gonna have a straight beam line down, and this is gonna have pure ceiling zappers, because the density is gonna be very low here. I assume there's not gonna be very many husks in here, so I just put ceiling zappers. Alright, and then it's gonna go straight down. This is gonna go straight down there. Another possibility, which you can do on this build, right? Let's see, hold on. So another possibility you can do, which is to stagger the smasher down here, and then have to walk a very long pathway over. So how would that look? I guess I can do right now as an example. So basically we have this. So we get the smasher going on the right side. Instead of a dynamo, we're going to use a wall light, and this is going to have 4 times impact. Right, and this will instantly stagger the smasher down, and then go boom. And then have to walk a very long pathway, and we have to open up one of these. So I'm going to open up this, make sure this is walled off, and then they can go right through here, and they can go right through here. Okay. So that is one option that we can do for this build. So that's one nice thing about this side, is that we do have options for very long recycling. Which of course, if you have infinite structures, you can place more traps down here. Okay, so we have that. Alright. And I didn't bother to put more traps over here, but you can do so if you wish. I think I'm gonna put this as a 1 floor spike though. But anyway, it's up to you exactly what traps you want to use. Alright. Or I may even get rid of this, actually, just to save a little bit more structures. Whoops. But anyway, it's up to you how you want to build this. Okay, so we have that out of the way, and then I'm gonna move on. I guess I could also put the wall light over here too, but whatever. So we're gonna also have a block off in here, right? So this block off looks like this, right? So this block off over here looks like this. You can just like pause the video and then try to copy that. And then I think that should be it for that. Now, in this block off, I think there's one important point to note, right? So underneath here, there's going to be floors, right? So these floors do add additional layering. Oh, I forgot to upgrade this one. So these floors do add additional layering. However, the floors underneath in here, from my testing, do not, right? So these floors right here, which I used to put, do no longer act as layering. And I'm not sure which patch did that. But I know they used to for sure. It could be from that hill. Maybe it was a very similar thing from a hill video from a long time ago. So same over here. These floors would not do anything, so I also removed them too. Okay. So that's just one note when you're building this. Everything else should be pretty standard procedure when it comes to the layering. All right. Upgrade this, and then we can move on. So that is pretty much the ridge design I have over here, and I still need to play around with the Devil North smashers to see if they're actually pathing over there or they're still coming back over here. But yeah, if they're still coming back over here, I have to think about something else then, but I'll come to it when I do more testing. And speaking of the Devil North, we also have this over here. So this is the assassin tunnel that I'm going to be using for Devil North, right? And basically this is just to get rid of the propanes, particularly, that are going to be pathing over here, so they don't cause too much trouble later on when they're pathing through the tunnel, if they're going to path through that tunnel over there. Okay. And the smashers are going to be coming over here, but this doesn't really do anything for the smashers. It's going to use up some durability. So I want the smashers to try to see if they can path all the way through here, and hopefully through the tunnel. If not, then I have to see what happens. So, yeah, Devil North smashers kind of suck. I don't know why I didn't have this trouble earlier, or maybe I never noticed it. Actually, I think because previously the smashers just never spawned, or they despawned. But I don't know, for some reason my later game and lately they just haven't been despawning and just keep going through, so I have to think about what exactly is wrong. Anyway, to do this assassin tunnel, we're going to use sufficient layering. So this is a layering that I use over here. Pretty much same as before. I think the only difference is that now I also additionally added this layers over here. And this should also suffice. I think I might not need these walls over here actually. I think it should be okay. But I think I also had wall spikes here or something. But I'm going to check on these later. I don't have many structures left. Like 21. Yeah. And very different parts of my video I may have different structures left, but it's because I've been doing this recording in different days and trying to showcase them in different days. Because it's hard to do it all in one video. Okay, so we have that, and for the Devil North, right, so this is my Devil North right now, so there's a lot of steel and electric fields going on here. Okay, now of course you can build more structures over here, more tunneling, right? I think this wall over here sometimes will get destroyed, so I don't bother putting it there. But yeah, you can definitely do more tunneling if you wish, right? And this would add more damage, but for me personally, it seems like it wasn't needed. Wave 26 was successful when I hit on the side, so I was like, well, but it was actually pretty low HP, so I guess it survived still. But at that time I only had 3 of these timeout boxes. But anyway, I think the most important point though when you're doing this is to make sure that these traps, the dynamos and the steel electric fields are nature, right? So you need to make sure that they're nature, and wave 26, wave 21 should be a lot easier to handle. Well, I wouldn't say a lot easier, but they should do more damage. Now, since I'm using the wall dart over here, and this should shoot through all the way over here up to here where I'm standing. So technically, the wall launcher, if they launch a husk into this corner over here, then the wall dart should be able to hit them. But it won't trigger it unless there's a husk in here, in one of these tiles. But there's no penetration, so the chances of that happening are pretty small anyway. But anyway. So the food and floor spikes are all going to be healing, but I don't think it's necessary, but it's more like the density in here is going to be pretty low. The wall launcher, double reload, 4 times durability, and the rest are going to be 3 times impact, double reloads. The wall dynamos, all the wall dynamos I'm going to be using are going to have no reload. They're going to be just pure crit damage, crit rating, and damage. Right? And the reason why I'm using this is because the nurse husks spawn on wave 26, and the nurse husks, we need to really zap them together. So that's how I think you really kill the nurse husks. You get them into a spot, you zap them all at once, and hopefully they die, right? Or zap them in here all at once with the darts and the dynamos activating all at the same time. Okay, so we have that, and let me check the damage. Okay. Now another thing we could also note over here is that there's 4 layers over here. So it's just like before, there's 4 layers over here to ensure that majority of them are going to be pathing into the main tunnel over here. There's going to be some crawlers that are going to be coming over here, but that's completely unavoidable. So that's why I have a small tunnel either side. And this actually has been very successful. I don't think any husk, from my observations when I was camping behind spawn, there has been no husk that actually made it over here, and the only husk that possibly made it through is from the middle. Okay. And going up, there's going to be more steel electric fields, there's going to be dynamos with no reloads, and you're trying to zap them. And if they make it through the amp, then hopefully there's not too many. Okay. I have this over here just for testing to see if there's ever been a case where a lobber was lobbing or a flinger was flinging, which the amp got taken damage. So this would be an indication of that. Now I also have removed these over here, these slants, and the reason why I removed the slants is because I feel like it wasn't necessary once I introduced damage into my builds. So because these are damage builds, they should actually kill the flingers before they even get a chance to get into the flinger range. Alright. So with that, that is Devil North Tunnel. It's also going to be the possible other assassin husks that may come. So put the walls over here, this wall, and then this wall launcher with double reload and healing. Launch them out, because this is a common spot which they want to try to fling from. See over here, this is where they can fling. Okay, so another thing I need to talk about is lava shield. Lava shield shouldn't be too hard. So if they compare it to that wall over there and just build it accordingly like this. Right, this is the lava shield that I have, but I would have to see to get a get a wave 21 to see if this lava shield isn't too high. Because I did have a case previously where the lobbers were acting kind of weird and they were lobbing unless the shield was low enough. Okay, and for this layering over here, right? So we have this layering over here, pyramids and floors below it, but there's not going to be any floors in this particular spot. So in these particular spots over here, there's no floors, and in these particular spots, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's not going to be any floors underneath, because these don't seem to act as layering anymore, which I'm not sure which patch again did that, but it could have been that patch in 12.0 or 12.0 or so, which did those changes to hill. Alright. And make sure, of course, do not put walls over here. Don't put walls over here. Like, those walls will be too close for the amplifier. Alright. So I think that would be the Devil North. Now, the Devil Amp is the same amp design. The 16 poles and 4 arches. And that they're going to, using this design, they're going to be pathing towards me instead of the amplifier. At least the assassin husks and the smashers and propanes. At least most of the time. Now we go to the Devil West. So the Devil West over here is I guess, weird design. I have these full launchers over here for phasing. And then they just, if they phase through, then they're just going to get launched right back up even here and then go back in. Yeah, it seems like sometimes these saddle walls can cause phasing. I don't know why, but yeah, I have that. Okay, see electric fields, nature, and then wooden floor spikes are going to be all healing. So wooden floor spikes all the way across. So initially they're going to be sound walled, right? So this is just to disable the propane. Unless because I'm still testing to see if the propane actually path in here or they path through the other side, because I'm trying to get them to path the other side, so there's no propanes going in here, and if I can get no propanes going in here, that means I can do more damage in this tunnel, which would be a more successful tunnel. Okay, and wall launcher, double reload, triple impact, double reload, triple impact, and double reload, triple impact. So all these have double reload and triple impacts. And going in here, there's going to be dynamos with natures and the wall darts all surrounding it. And same thing in here, boom. Same thing in here, boom. Alright, so there's lots of damage going on in here. And then once they come out, and there's going to be one ceiling zapper with the dynamos. You could build more if you wish, right? So you can build like more timer box in here, for example, right? So, and that would also add more damage. But from my observations, at least from wave 6, this seems like not really much has made it, nothing has actually made it past this tile, so I think that's good. But I still would want to make sure it's more reliable for the wave 20, wave 21 and wave 26. So I would have to test that. So at that point, I may need to add more damage, but yeah, I'll have to see. Okay, so that is that tunnel. We're gonna also have to talk about this block off. So this block off, I think I figured out a pretty good way to explain how to do this. All right. So first we're going to do the easy part. The walls are in here, flat floors, and then the slants all surrounding that. So that's really the easy step. And then make sure you put walls over here. So make sure you put the walls on this hill, this hill, and the flinger should not be able to come up here and fling. Okay, and this wall over here. So build this first layer over here, all right? That's the first step. So just build this first layer over there. Let me skip that. Build this first layer, and then we'll move on to the hard part. So this is the hard part over here. Okay. So the lava bomb is a 2x2 in here, and it's always going to land. And the easy way I'm going to do this is like this. 2x2 over there, 2x1, 2x1, and 2x1. Right? So each side of the square is going to have two diamond pieces, right? Like this, right? So there are going to be two diamond pieces like that in the same direction on each side of the square. On the east side, there's going to actually be an additional one beyond that, right? So it's going to be 4. Right? But overall, I think this is the easiest way to remember this lava bomb shift is by those. And then once you get that down, you place down the diamond floors. Place down the slants, right? So once you place down the slants, and then you should be good. Certain slants are going to be required for this lava bomb shift. For example, this slant, I know for sure, these two slants I know for sure are required for this lava bomb shift, and other slants are not required. So you're going to have to do your own testing on this, because I don't know which ones are required or not. But these diamond floors should work. Alright, and so far it's been 100%, and that should be good. Alright. Now, they're gonna have, oh yeah, this is fine. Alright. Yeah, I think actually that is the devil amplifier overall. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. I still need to experiment with the smashers and propanes and where they're pathing to. And Devil North has been kind of a issue for me lately when it comes to the smasher pathing. So sometimes the smasher, if they path over there, which will be really bad, or if they path in here, which would be good. So I'm not exactly sure what's the best way to do that, unless I need to do an additional pathing since similar to over there. But again, I would have to test it out. Okay, but yeah, that would be the overall. That would be the design of my base, right? Now, there's going to be some changes I do here and there, and I'll try to see if I can mention it. For example, since my recording of the Wamp, I actually just additionally added this in here, right? So I added the wall dart going in through the Wamp amplifier, right? I add the wall dart going through the Wamp amplifier, and then there should be able to do the additional damage. Now also, actually, hold on, I need to remove these. Put those there. But I used to have these low walls going all the way across, but I did notice that what ended up happening was that these actually don't activate these ones, right? So it seems like they had to be these electric fields had to be 2 tiles high to activate the half walls. So I do the low walls. So I do the low walls or the box with the hole. The wall with the hole. Right, but over here, because I figured there's not going to be any propanes blown up here in this area, so I figured this is okay just to use the low ones. Alright, but at the beginning I feel like I may need the big ones just for the more health. Right, unless I'm using base. Okay, so we have that, and I'm going to go ahead and put the traps on there, so I'm going to put the energy. Alright, and I may need to figure out exactly where I'm going to put the base if it's on the ridge. But yeah, I might change ridge anyway because it might be my weakest build overall. One more thing before I conclude the video is that I am testing this particular pathing over here. I had this tier 1 at the very start of the game and I just didn't bother upgrading it because I guess I was lazy. But yeah, this is pretty much the pathing I'm testing to see if this would cause the propanes and smashers to not path in my Devil West tunnel. Alright, so, but that's it. If you're looking below and you see some tier 1 walls, that's because the mini-boss didn't dance for whatever reason. Yeah, I don't know. But usually the mini-boss does dance, but I guess that particular case it didn't. But yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and it took me a long time to really get this together, but I'm still going to be testing here and onwards, right? But I'll probably be a lot more casual about it, but hopefully this video could give you like a really good guide on how to build overall. in terms of what to do if you already watched some of my previous videos. Alright, so everybody take care, and as always, have fun building.